If you're working with anyone that you are sleeping with, you have a big problem. Those two areas don't go together easily. I came in to this company about a few, maybe 5-6 weeks ago, and it was clear from the minute I walked into the room there's an issue here. We're talking about a successful startup, and the woman and the man, who are the co-founders, are barely looking each other in the eye, and they're cutting each other's sentences off. Not a good sign. Not a very good sign. So one thing I did just as a triage is I said, you need to have, this is after a few hours of charting out all the issues that were between them and the structures we're putting in place to deal with that. I said one of the most important things is you have to have safe spaces. So what does that mean? You have to have areas where business is off limits. I turned to one of them and I said, let's just call them Jane and Tom. I said, if Jane turns to you while you guys are making dinner and says, what do you think about that new proposal? You have to hold a line. You have to hold a line where you say, hold on. We're not in business mode right now. We're in being mode. Are you in business mode or are you in being mode? Choose. That's number one. Number two, if your husband comes to you or if your wife comes to you to talk to you, you have to first ask, who is speaking? Who is speaking? Is it my husband or my wife speaking, or is it my co-founder? Because the way I listen has to be radically different, and the way I deal with what you're saying is going to be radically different. See, if it's my wife speaking, who's saying, how are we going to make payroll this month? Because our new funding isn't in yet, our cash flow is out of balance. How are we going to do it? I need to know, is this my husband speaking or my wife speaking? In which case I say, come here, let me give you a hug and kiss. It must be really tough to think about that. And, let's talk about it. Let's talk about what we can do, as husband and wife, as someone who's supporting you, who's loving you. Or are you talking to the person who's equally responsible for the operational success of this company? In which case, I'm going to listen differently. I'm going to respond differently. I need to know. You guys have to start asking each other who is speaking. And if you don't do that, it's not going to end pretty, most likely, given what I've seen today.